Welcome, Real Raw Stock Info, live morning trading on the morning of Thursday, July 14th, 2022. Overnight, the futures were down pretty heavy, at least 1.5%, 1.75%. So that kind of lets us know what kind of day we're having today. I don't think we'll recoup all of that, but we shall see. Okay, so let's start off with the SPY. The SPY gap lower because of that time that we were down overnight. So we're going to try to retest this level, which was sorry, that level's a little high. Should be a little lower. No, that was the gap window. I'm sorry. So we're trying to go and cover those gaps and fill them in, but it seems like for now we might have not made it all the way down. So QQQ, right? QQQ, same thing, and then DJX, the same thing. So back to QQQ. Want to see? Yeah. So they've already tested this line here, so I don't think that's gonna hold it anymore. So alright. So now let's move on. Let's move on. Biggest gainers this morning. Biggest gainers. Not a lot. Biggest gainers over 3 million shares, 30 days. Payo, whoever that is. Payo's gonna have, let's see, Payo. Oh yeah, Payo's pretty new, so it is what it is, Payo. Too new for my likings. But yeah, I mean, Payo's trying to go for that 50 moving average. And let's see what happens. It's never hit it before, so we'll see what happens. If we were to give it some trend lines, let's see, Payo. That's the life of Payo right there. I would say that's the life of Payo right there. So let's go, Payo. See what you can do within this time frame. All right. Payo. Next one was Canoe. Also another newish one, which is kind of like in the Payo world. I mean, that's pretty much it. but it's got it low, and let's give it some space to work and do its thing. But yeah, those two are the leaders in the large volume, and everything else is lower. What are the big losers? Big losers this morning. A lot of big losers. Clovis. Clovis, we must have done some work on it already. And looks like we did. It was probably rising really sharply. And we put the natural resistance on it, and it failed. So that one, GFI, Goldfields. Goldfields though, gold is on watch for about the next 30 days for these to hit some important lows. So Goldfields, see these gaps, all these little gaps are going to be really good. Obviously this will be the best gap there. See, this would be the best gap, but we are currently about to close up this gap, which is pretty good. Oh no, it's right at it. So you could say that this is the one of the best ones, but those are the next levels for the stock. Gold is on watch. I mean, you can see that GDX, is it? GDX. I'm sorry, I'm not even sure. No, it's it. Gold is about to hit some important levels, so who knows if it will go lower, but it hasn't for a long time. Okay, another big loser, Compañía Siderúrgica, some surgery company, Siderúrgica Nacional. So they are falling. They've been falling, so we got a leg down, up, leg down. This could be that final drop to end that leg down. I don't think they have anything near. Let's see. Yes, they do. 249. It's going for this area here. Let me just zoom in. Going for all this area. It's got a lot of gaps here. Right here's gonna be it. Oops. That would be a nice one because it's above this area. It was a breakout area. It's got some important price points here. So that would be a nice. That's at 232. That would be for a really good bounce. 232. And when I say really good bounce, it's only like a 40-cent bounce that you can say, if it's not one of these long. Gotta see when it gets down there, how it gets down there. Okay. Let's take a look at oil. Oil piercing. Very important level at 90. I'm actually going to be buying something here. Ooh, ooh, ooh. So when you pull up the industry, so energy, oil, let's just look at all of it. Who's up for today? Who is up? Nobody is up. Who is the least down? Blue Knight. Let's check this out. Mexico Energy. Here we go. Empire Petroleum. There we go. That's one. That is definitely one. One that is showing signs of a rebound, just like the oil itself. So it's up 2% while the others are down. Empire Petroleum. Check out the USO. USO at 68. So we need it to go touch. It's important. Yep, so let's buy at 68. So it's rebounding before our 68 level. You have to get 68. Super important to get 68. 69 is not enough. Maybe tomorrow 68. I hope so. Alright, moving on. Didn't do it today. Or maybe later today, 68. Anyways, let's put an alarm. An alert, sorry. Okay, so let's check out the big boys. Tesla. Tesla holding on. Google. That's just following the market, but it is a decent dip. 1.5%. Meta holding on. It's down 3%, but it's pretty much still holding on to this low, which is important. Gotta stay in there. If you don't, then you can say, alright, this whole move that we were trying to do here is over. Okay. Let's see what else. Valero. Ooh, that's a great grab. That would be a good grab there at already filling now. Filling up the gap. Then there's another gap down there. One more day. Oh man, if we get one more day of that push. One more push down on oil. That'd be great. Uno más push. Today's low's 90.56. Okay, let's moving on. GameStop rocking today. I mean, it's got a bullish pattern. No doubts, has a bullish pattern. It just hasn't been able to pass that 200 simple moving average, but today it's making that attempt, and that's a really good sign for GameStop. So GameStop rocking and rolling on a day that is not a good day for the markets. We all have our bad days, and the market's having one today. And GameStop has a very bullish pattern here, starting from this move up here, sideways move. And this is the first day that we are trying to close above that 200 simple moving average. That's going to be key today in trying to show that strength that we're already showing on a day where everything is down. So that's a really good sign for GameStop. In addition to that, we entered our zone that we had identified as a small breakout zone here, with the bigger breakout being after the other yellow line, right? Same for the RSI. We broke out 3 days ago and had a little run here. So if this run can continue, that's great. But we'll have to see towards the end of the day. However, it is showing it's always had that bullish pattern here. So still stuck in our channel. Still stuck in our channel here. So we'll see how it does and if it can make it to the top of that channel. I know the game stoppers will be really happy. The game stoppers. Game stoppers. Staying strong on a red day. So yeah, UNG is another really strong one. I think we just covered that a little bit ago. Yang, which is a China ETF. Is it China? I was like, is it China? Yang is up some. Yeah, Yang is up. Yang is up. Yang is down. That'd be the life of Yang. Right there. Dollar peso. It's rocking and rolling. It's gonna have to chill on the hourly. I mean, look at that hourly. That's a nice looking hourly, but you gotta relax, buddy. Notice the extension on the candle here. That kind of stuff's gotta let you know that there's a pause coming, or a pullback, or a reversal, or something. Those extensions are key to knowing that your move is over, for the time being, that is. Your move is over. Box D up 6.35%. It already had a higher, looks like it already had a higher close of 225, but it's still up. Box D definitely had the breakout from our trend line that we were tracking. The bigger breakout, should I say. We had the small breakout and the bigger breakout. Payo getting tired because of the extension. Right, so extension. Cannot do it. You cannot do it. American Airlines also in our highest gainers for today. Looks pretty normal. Looks pretty normal. Gap fill. So same with United Airlines. Dang. let's take a look at some stuff together. So, what is actually getting bearish today? All right. So, what is crossing over, making bearish moves? If we were to sort it, we got pretty much a little bit of a lot. Energy, materials, industrials, IT. So a lot of these. So what is bullish? And we're just looking to see which is one of these searches have just a little bit. This one does. So just reviewing the energy, ET. Definitely not bullish. That one could be just because of the way it's above all the moving averages, right? So that is a bullish move there. That was trip. JD, it's trying, so we gotta see about the close. That has a bullish pattern altogether, so I'm not sure why it has not taken off. That's bullish above all the moving averages. That one's bullish. We're probably ending today. That one has hit its 200 and is looking to close above that 200 so that it can prove that it can stay above it. But it's pretty extended. That's the big problem, is that you get extended. Let's take a look at the hourly. The hourly is not extended. So it's very possible that next hour you can get one more candle up here that is extended and then start to fall. Because you do need that extension on the hourly chart. That's a bit bullish. Has now crossed that EMA 5 that it was not able to cross. NetEase and Empire Realty. That one's a bit bullish, right? So has come up, fought this moving average, stayed above it 2 days, and now it's looking to climb to the 760 area and possibly higher. Yeah, we have this gap fill all the way at the top. So not much crossing over to the bullish or potentially crossing to the bullish areas. Not much. Let's go to the under $5. What's under $5? Orchid Island Capital. Nope. That one's pretty good. Biotech. Not sure what it is. Boxed. Yeah, we just talked about Boxed. Nope. Just Boxed. So for the week, get that weekly chart out. Let me put this away. Let me pull up the one with the numbers. Too many. That's because we're only tracking 1 million. So let's change that to 3 million. 3 million. Let this refresh here. Kind of refreshed. All right. So let's first check the EMA pops here. Peloton getting down to some attractive prices. Peloton. Yeah, so Peloton could easily have a 10% jump. Definitely at some lows that everyone's going to say it's crap. But crap at some point has a jump. So what would be good is if next week Peloton could spit us a little bit lower. That would be great. But all of this extension is going to get met with a snapback. Right now you would get 100% if it snapped back to the EMA. If we look at the RSI, of course, it's already looking ready. So it's one of those you should look at. So looking at Peloton, it's down 5.43%. It's down a lot, been down a lot. It's come down from a really high level. So it's looking though like it's ready to hit a base in the next week or so. So I would watch Peloton to bottom out for a nice snap back to I mean, geez, even if it went to 11, that'd be some nice $3 on an $8 stock. So if we look at we're looking at the weekly chart, so this is not something that'll play out right away, but I think next week or the week after is when this would play out. So let's see. Yeah, so far it hasn't really straightened out yet, but the start of this curve here, when it gets down to this middle of these two lines, kind of like this middle here, that's when it'll start to go to the head higher, pretty much, because you can see it's already starting to straighten out here. Now, here's one bad thing, is that this 20 simple moving average has not really been tested. It did kind of get tested here, but that's going to be a battle. We get through that, that'd be an awesome game here. All right, so Peloton, keep it on your radar. So Peloton, one of those stocks that has kind of sucked lately for about at least a year, and down 5.6%, and is looking though like it's starting to bottom out on the weekly charts. So you want to start watching this if you want to get that jump back to the exponential moving average, which would be So Lyft is one of those stocks shown up on the radar. It's definitely had its downtrend for the year, but has now come down close to $11, $10 level, which has not been hit in the past, and is definitely starting to slow up its selling. As you can see on the weekly chart, we do have a trend line that can break out, and it's getting tighter and tighter and tighter. So, you can say that by August, you pretty much have no more room to be oversold, and would have to come back up. That also goes for the momentum. Looks like it can pick up. It can pick up around the same time, which is something that I like to look for when I draw these actual lines, is that they sync up and look like they're in sync with each other. So Lyft, if you look at the daily chart let's see what we have. Clear these. Yeah, the daily chart had the gap down and has been gapping down since. But again, same thing. It's starting to slow up. Plus, they've kind of been able to bend this moving average so that they can fight them both kind of a little closer to each other. Versus having to really spend energy. If you were here, really spend energy getting to one. You run out of energy. There's no more energy to get to the next one. You bring them down closer to each other, and you can attack them both at the same time. That's just something that charts do. That's the way they play these moving averages, because the name of the game is to get above them and move to the next one. So Lyft, keep it on your radar. I would say anything close to $10 would be a good play, but time is of the essence, and one more good push lower would be good for Lyft. But remember, timing is more important than the price. On the radar, it's definitely had its downtrend for the year, but has now come down close to $11, $10 level, which has not been hit in the past, and is definitely starting to slow up its selling. As you can see on the weekly chart, we do have a trend line that can break out, and it's getting tighter and tighter and tighter. So, you can say that by August, you pretty much have no more room to be oversold, and would have to come back up. That also goes for the momentum. Looks like it can pick up. It can pick up around the same time, which is something that I like to look for when I draw these actual lines, is that they sync up and look like they're in sync with you. Caesars Entertainment also dropping, but pretty much finding its lows. As well as these. These are bad. Like these need some buyers quick. I'm gonna buy that. I'll buy this 76. PS6. All right. So 600 shares. Let's do it. Yeah. Let's see how Netflix is doing. 1.5%. Not bad. Netflix has hung around here, and definitely has been a dead stock. But the cool part is that it's just hung around the same levels. Makes it easy to gather these moving averages, as we said, and try to break up above them together. So yeah, 76. Diamondback Energy. Fang is also another one. Finding's probably gonna find a nice low for a decent bounce. All right, we back. Yeah, so Diamondback Energy, Freeport McMoran, Schlumberger, those were all filled with a lot of buyers. They're all short sellers, extremely short sellers. APA Corp, Southwestern Energy. So as soon as these hit support levels, if they're not hitting them already, yeah. Baker Hughes, Rio Tinto. So all this stuff has been sold off lately. A lot sold off, and it's time to pick it up. That's as far as I can go. We have other things like Caterpillar, but you know, they're only temporary bounces. Nothing is forever. All temporary bounces. Okay, let's move on. Let's flip the script and let's see what can be bought up. Or sorry, sold off. So when we look at what's bearish, what is bearish? What is so bought up that it needs so let's check it. When you sort it by sector, it's healthcare the most. That is short selling. It's short sellers. Like there's a lot of buyers in those areas. So it's short sellers. For example, a lot of buying here, right? You can tell that. A lot of buying. You need some sellers or you're going to mess this chart up. Drip, a lot of buying, short sellers. That one could go higher though. It actually has a Drip does have a, is that, yeah, Drip can go higher. Drip can go, because it has a head and shoulder pattern. So Drip broke out of the head and shoulder pattern, retrace, and let's go. So that can go ahead and attack that 200. This one has no more room to run. This one has some room to run. Try not to sneeze. Yeah, STRO, looks like we've been here. We gave it a trend line. It's been using it. Alright, so when I find the chart with trend lines, I'm like, we've been here. We drew this before. Alright, so that, and then what else? Chewy. think that's dog food or something. It's gotta come back in. It's gotta come back in. Beam. Now they're just retraces, you can tell. These are really good charts. BJ's. Yes, so all of these have to come back in. Come back in somehow, some way. They are pretty overbought. That one's nice. I mean, it has a bull pattern here, but it's gotta wait. If it can wait, can it wait? All right, moving on. Let's look at some action right now. What's in action right now? Search is happening. So this one, more of this one has to get bought up. Has to get bought up. Salesforce. No, that one's fine. JPM, gotta get picked up. So yeah, JPM being one of the weakest in the Dow Jones today, certainly by percentage, but also by the number of people interested in buying this thing, has kind of hit its low this morning of 106.06, and it's retracing, but it's does have the 103 gap fill, so let's check that out. All right, so JPM, one of the weaker ones in the Dow today, certainly by percentage, but at the same time, it is approaching an important level. The level being a gap fill from back in the day. Really important level because that was where it got above the moving averages, as well as then had the gap up that never returned until now. So a super important level coming in. We already surpassed this one, and now it's time to fill the 100 and sorry, let me get that again. It is the 102 with 39 cents. But if that thing even gets close to the 100 or pierces that 105 level, it's time to watch it and see when you want to get in it for a really nice bounce back to the 110, 109, at least there, if not a little bit higher, to try to attack the 20 simple moving average again. As you can see, JPM on the daily chart is trying to fight those. So it's in the phase where it's actually being able to pierce them. First was able to pierce them, right? So now, and then we had the first time you can get above them. And then we drop really, really hard. Kind of have to reset now because we're going to, we dropped pretty hard and lost our momentum that we were trying to gain there. But we can start over and try to attack the 20 again. All right, so JPM on watch at that 102, at the 103 level, but put yourself in alert at 105 so you can start watching it. So that'll come maybe tomorrow, or that'll come, starting next week, but you want to be ready. All right, thanks. JPM. JPM, let's check out another one. That JPM needs to get bought up because if that thing goes to the 103 level, we got a problem. That's more of a problem than anything. So according to our cycle times, we do have oil next hour. So let's see what's going on. Let's see what's happening. So looking at oil at this time, it does have like minor breakout levels. Yeah, minor breakout levels, and then it's not very, can't really read too much on it because it's hasn't, the levels are so high, and then there's no pivots. So in order to draw trend lines, you need two pivots, right? So I don't feel I have two significant pivots except for this one and this one to draw a line, or this one and this one. But other than that, I don't feel like I have. I would say this would have been my other choice for the breakdown, which does, as you can see, it does happen there. But yeah. We need to go and touch that 90 level. We need it. I'm already in PSX, so PSX Spirit of 76, and boom. That's what I want to see at the end of the day, because that's gonna let me know, that I can expect some gains on Monday or on Friday. Yeah. Okay. Let's move on. We did have Dow Jones at 6 a.m. 6 a.m. Pacific time. So that's kind of telling us we're going to have bearish pressure for the rest of the session. I don't think you needed that to tell you that, but it does indicate that. That the only way we're going to have some really nice run to the upside is if we close above this candle, which is possible. It's possible given the trend lines you can see here. Short-term trend lines. Very short term. Very short term. We'll have Tesla at 8:30. 8:30. So you can see here it's probably going to end like that. Like it still has another 32 minutes to go, but it will probably end like that, and then we'll see what we get after that. Maybe we get a decent market rally. Same here. Possibility of a decent rally to fill the gap, possibly. Or the attempt to fill the gap. But again, you got the 20 moving average ready to knock you in your face. Let's go, let's go. Boom. Yeah, it's just the trend lines. That's all I see is the trend line telling you, okay, you know what, you can have a little rush to the upside just based on those trend lines. So that wouldn't come until, the next half hour, which is coincidentally that Tesla cycle time. And I say the next half hour because if this dot breaks out here, that's a pretty big, powerful move because it's a lot of space you have to see. Like this, that's a lot. It's that's a big drop, so it's powerful because of the distance between point A and point B. So this is pretty normal here, so that the next candle can do the breakout, and that would still look normal. So to be like a standard normal breakout, not something that's super extreme, because you're really just gonna be headed to the gap fill and the 20 moving average that you lost control of up here, and gonna have to figure that out. QQQ, you're on your own. So, all right, let's look for some more stocks, because that's what we do. Some more stocks. All right, let's move on to the NASDAQ and dissect that sucker. Actually, let's see if JPM got bought up, because it needs to get picked up, just so that we can know that that is the low for the day, because these candles here are usually retraced, at least 50%, so before they actually get bought up. So if this doesn't get bought up in the next half hour, then this is a fake bottom, and whatever happens next is due to that fake bottom being defined by this flush, by a reflush back down and a closing back down to that level. So we're gonna revisit that hopefully before we sign off. Apple looking all right. Apple holding on to the levels that we set for Apple. All right, let's move on to the NASDAQ. NASDAQ 100. Actually, let's do NASDAQ Composites. 1 second here. Data loading, data loading. All right. So we're with the daily charts. On the daily charts, here is the Booking Holdings. Booking Holdings has a lot of selling and is in need for some buying. It's pretty expensive. I wouldn't buy it because I can't afford it. But yeah, that one is pretty much reaching some fill areas down here. This would be the area right down there. And there it is. Boom. Right there. So Booking Holdings, that one's filling stuff in. Electronic Arts, it has a lot of it doesn't have a lot of sellers, but it needs some buyers. It doesn't have a lot of sellers, but it needs some buyers. So Electronic Arts, below the moving averages, so bearish, of course, but definitely is in the process of the fight with those moving averages. So not impossible to get another boost up to try to curve these up again. These are super large, strong retraces, right? So they can look bearish, but it's really strong retrace. If we draw some trend lines, if we drew some trend lines here, you can definitely have yourself a small breakout here, some momentum. This is not really that strong, right? So I don't have another pivot to really draw this on, but the indicator is showing that might have been it there. Kind of in parallel with what you have on the RSI, so that's a good thing. Again, we're still bearish, so you have to see there's no gap fills here. None of that. Let's Fibonacci the drop, so maybe that 117 area. Possible, unless we close. Yeah, unless today. No. Sorry, I was gonna say something, but my mind says nope. Yeah, I say the 7.5 area. It's the 75% retrace. 117.63 looks like a good place to get this at. If it even lets you, yeah, you know what? It will drop it. This actually doesn't look good for the game. The EA Sports, but once it gets down to this level, it's time to watch it. So I'm sure we'll be back. I'm sure we'll find it at this level. Actually, let's put an alert. Alert withdrawing, crosses below, Fibonacci, long, daily. All right, that way we know. Yeah, it's really just that Booking Holdings that has a lot of selling, and it's hit a level to where you can tell the buyers are going to come in and pick that up. And then on the other end, yeah, EA is mostly the one that kind of has a lot of. Oh, here we go. O'Reilly Automotive has a lot of buyers and needs some sellers. Just for the health. O'Reilly did seems like O'Reilly did break out here. So we're looking to confirm that breakout tomorrow. Actually today, sorry. Today. That would be great if we could confirm that breakout today and close higher again. And that would totally leave us in a good place. You could tell the momentum is slowing. Yeah, the momentum is slowing here. We still said, so 2 scenarios with this one. Just like we started, we said that it had a lot of buyers and needed some sellers for health. Okay, so you have 2 levels, which is the real breakdown levels here, and then nothing else really. I don't want to force that one. So the real breakdown levels here. So if you have some selling that comes down to that level just to bounce off of it again, that would be good. But definitely needs to relax a little bit. Here's also momentum is slowing, and so you want to try and hold the moving averages above the moving averages. So first line of defense is the EMA 5, and then you got to defend the 200 moving average. So you keep those two, keep closing above those two a couple more days, and you should be able to climb back and go and try and fill the gap. Honeywell has the extension, so you can tell that is the end of possible selling there. That can, let's see where it can go. Let's see where it can go. There we go. Okay, so Honeywell also has the gap window here. All right. So Honeywell is another stock that is showing a lot of selling, of course, downtrending below the moving averages, downtrending, but definitely has hit a support. Today is down 1.5%, but looks like it's found a level from, here we go. It's found a level from November of 2020. And that might be what it was trying to defend today. If it does not defend that well, then it's just going to go to the actual gap at 161. But right now, it likes that level of the, what is that, 168.11 is the exact price for the low, and it obviously dipped lower than that. So today and tomorrow are important because today will let us know if it can hold that, and tomorrow it should let us know if it can confirm that hold. So both, we want 2 consecutive days with the same signal, and if we get that, then we know where we're going. We're either going 2 days lower, meaning 2 days closing below this is going to signify that those 2 consecutive days of those closings, that we're going to go fill the gap. If we do 1 day close below, 1 day close above, then it's, we got to look for something else that is going to tell us what it's going to do. But if it does 2 consecutive closings in the same direction, we should be able to know where it's going to go next. Do, 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 do. Let's keep an eye on Tesla since it's about to do its thing. So you're getting a reversal here, which is helpful, knowing that the cycle is coming up in the next candle. You're already looking for the sign as to what can help you with how the next cycle will go. Although it is extremely important to wait for candle 1 of the next cycle to complete, there's always little things that can help you supplement your observations as you go into the next cycle. For example, I know we're fighting all of these moving averages right now, and these 2 are coming in together. It's probably gonna have some trouble there, but we'll see. Okay. Sorry, I'm amazed at Tesla. It's got a super bear flag. Has been surviving above it. So closing, I mean, geez, closing below the EMA today is not a good sign. It's not. It's not because, um, you know, you're already in trouble, man. This doesn't even exist anymore. This exists here. And then here, pretty much got the breakdown level ready to roll. And that's a no good, you know? That's no good. So yeah, live market update on Tesla. Tesla is down 1%, which is really strong. We're coming up on the 8:20 Pacific time, 8:30 candle, which we have as the cycle time for Tesla at 8:30. So we're going to be watching that 8:30 candle all the way to 9:30. But Tesla on the daily chart, we've seen that it has a bear flag, right? So can it defeat the bear flag? That'd be awesome because that would take us rocket ship right up to that 200 moving average to retest that. We'll see if that happens, but that's it doesn't show a lot of signs of doing that. I mean, we had a little breakout, little mini breakout line, but that line itself does not even exist anymore until here. What we do have is a clearly defined breakdown line that is getting closer and closer to getting broken. You're running out of time. You have to make a decision. Tesla has to move one way or the other in the next week. Same goes for the momentum. Momentum is slowing. You can see it kind of creeping down. But at the same time, momentum can pick up. And it's going to have to decide sometime very, very soon, like next week. All right. So let's test Tesla for you. So live market update on Tesla. Tesla is currently in a daily bear flag that has been holding up pretty well. Today would be a bad sign if it closed the way it is like this, right? So Tesla has a small body candle on the daily chart. Let's zoom in a little bit more. A small body candle, and if it closes below the EMA 5, which is the green line, then it's already giving us some bad signs that may not be breaking out. May not be breaking out to defeat the bear flag, right? Defeating the bear flag would be great if it broke out above this yellow line 2 days in a row. If it broke out and closed above that line, then it'll rocket ship us to the 200 simple moving average at the 900 level, or possibly 950. 950 because of this cross here and the downside action, pretty much the breakdown. So there would be a lot of resistance there. If we could even make it through the 900 level, which also has a lot of resistance right around here. So we used to have a breakout line, and that thing's kind of disappeared to this, but we do have a breakdown line that has been defined pretty well, and you don't have a lot of time. Tesla doesn't have a lot of time. It needs to make a decision. And the next week, are you breaking out or are you breaking down? So, same with the momentum. Momentum looks like it's already slowing. So we're right on the edge of figuring that out, but it still has not clearly defined that. There's other signs in the chart that one can read, which pretty much we know we're in a downtrend, but we know Tesla's one of the strongest in terms of the rebounds that it gets. So gotta be careful with it. So that's Tesla for you. I think in the next week it'll define what it is going to do for us in the short term, meaning where we're going next in terms of price targets. And next hour and 4 minutes, which starts in 4 minutes, we are gonna have cycle time on Tesla, so we'll be watching that till 9:30 and seeing what Tesla starts to do in 4 minutes. All right, thanks. Tesla. Daily chart bear flag update. Don't mess with me, man. Don't mess with me. We know the charts. Apple. Oops. Yeah, Apple's doing good. I mean, we said it was above our support line. Close above the moving average. Still above the moving average. So definitely wants to go and tag the highs that it was not able to defeat at the 150 area. And if it makes it to that 200, that would be awesome. That would be great. There goes Apple doing its thing. And it's interesting because it's starting at the Tesla. Tesla cycle time. Tesla's a real challenge, though. I mean, it's got to defeat those moving averages, which is not tough because it's recently done it. But that's gonna be if it can get through that, oh man. So pulling back first minute, that's good. You want it to pull back, maybe even that first 15 minutes, first 20 minutes. That way it can cover that downside. But man, those moving averages are pretty close together. So they kind of act like walls. Not just walls, but like walls that are right next to each other. So a thick old wall. Thick old wall. All right. Let's let Tesla be. And let's go on and move to move it on up. Moving on up. Let's move on. Let's check out oil, since oil was our... Sorry, piece of trash that was bothering me. So 8:30. What's that? Sorry, let me recheck all these times. Tesla at 8:30, oil at 8 a.m. So oil was at 8 a.m. and this is oil. So we still got 25 minutes on oil before we know where we're going or what we're doing. Dang. I mean, I expect oil to go and try to tag this. I'm so disappointed with not having been tagged in the morning. But these kinds of days, 3% days, for you to think that it's a good time to go against a 3% day, you're kind of just going the wrong way today. Like you shouldn't go bullish on anything that's down 3%, because let's say you do get this back up to 2%. That's great. There are people who can snipe those gains, but I just would rather play it safe and go with the flow. Why would you fight the actual flow of the day? I get fight the flow of the week or the flow of the month, but not of the day. That's what you're playing, a session. And if the session's bearish, you shouldn't be going bullish. You better be good. That's all I gotta say. You better be good. So I'm gonna clear this chart out a bit. Watch this. We had this X marks the spot type of thing here. X marks the spot. Yeah. Just interesting observations, that's all. So on this RSI, yeah, we're pretty much at these lows on the momentum. Momentum is down. But the RSI can go lower. That is very, very likely that it goes into oversold territory. Maybe a day. It is oil, so oil is not one to be messed with. So there we go. Oil going red for the hour. Going red for the hour. Yep. PSX still holding, so I'm happy with that. Looks like a nice bottom. Okay. Yeah, box D has survived some of its climb here. Doesn't really have a hasn't really built a good level to bounce from, so it's just built this bullish pattern here. Failed to reach here, but yeah, it pretty much says it wants to try to break out and reach for some of these older levels, so at least 291, and reach a little higher. That's just what it's saying. Not sure what it'll do. Let's check out BTU. We made a good killing from BTU. Sold at 2190, man. Was it 2190? Something like that. I don't think so. I think it was less, because I think I sold this day here from this bottom, just because of the continuous selling and then knowing that there was an extension here. So we picked up from 18 to 21, 50, something like that. All right, let's see what's trending out there. What's trending out there? We got GameStop trending. NVAX is trending. NVAX. Wow, NVAX. Okay. So NVAX is, I mean, that's a buy. I hate to say that, but that is a buy. Dang. Let me see how much those options are. That may be down 20%, but it's being held up by that simple moving average of the 20. So NVAX. What's up, NVAX? Let's check out the weeklies. Ooh. Yeah, NVAX will be down for a while, but it might just end up going sideways like Netflix did. It would have been nice to get a bounce from there. Which it's getting now. Or it's no. It should, I hope it. It's definitely not a buy today, that's for sure. I just wanted to see how much the options were. So options for September on this. Calls at $50, $14 still. Damn. At 65, $7. Nah, it's still too expensive. Too expensive, man. Let's check out GME. How's GME doing? GME still in breakout mode. Still in breakout mode. I mean, if it closes there today, it's gonna rush to that. Try to retest that. I mean, I hate that it's got a little head and shoulder style pattern. It's not the best, but it is there. And if it works out, then tomorrow we come back in here just to take off again. And if it works out, sorry, that was wrong. Takes you right to the top of the channel. Dang. That's magic. All you need is magic. So let's go ahead and show this to the Redditors. Rocking and rolling. So see the extension from the EMA5 already starting there. That lets you know this candle is one of those. Unless, I mean, we're overbought, which the RSI is letting you know with the red dots on the hourly chart. So we're overbought. There's a chance that this can continue to fly high for the rest of the day. But you're starting to get extended. Yeah, sorry, I get stuck on the chart, kind of reading it and stuff. All right, let's move on. So right now we're just going through trending symbols. GME was on that list. Let's check out though what Tesla is doing since we were cycling. That's kind of the one that's gonna tell us how things are gonna play out for us. So not doing much yet. So we'll be back. Baba hitting that 50, but it's not something it hasn't done before, but it's hitting it from the upside. Definitely went up to those levels that we somehow, I think we drew that. We did it at a webinar on Monday, and came back down to fill that gap as we mentioned on that webinar. And now you should see that bounce back up to hopefully try to hit that 200 again. But this is just a good bounce because it's straight down, but I can't say that it's gonna go all the way back to the 200. I can't do it. I can't get it done. All right. So Baba picking its butt up. TSM was another big one. TSM looks like it's recovered from the morning and shooting back up, trying to get to that 50 since it's already has touched it before. Should be okay. This was a big drop here, but it seemed to have recovered fine. Disney on the radar, on the trending radar. So yeah, that's a pretty good Disney low. Let's see where we're at. Disneyland. Oops, that's a 200. 91.71. Wow. So yeah, gap fill. Okay. So let's take a look at Disney. Let's take a look at Disney. Disney also down about 1.36%. Looks like it's finding a low. However, when we look back in the past, it seems like it's being supported by an area from back in 2020, as a lot of stocks are starting to hit these areas where they prepared a gap for the future, and the future is now. And that's what they do. They prepare these gaps sometimes, and the gaps for the future. It's not really for now. Sorry, I missed the bright tool. So we have that line, and then we have this line at 81. And as we're here, we're just going to fib it as well. Put that Fibonacci. Fibulate it. Boom. Okay, so from that fib, you've come down to that level, right? The first level. And you kind of have bounced on it. So I assume you're going to go, not assume, because you have bounced on it, you've weakened that level, which is what caused you to close below it. So one closing below it could take us down to the next level, which was that 80, closer to the low of $81, $80. So that's really good price to grab it for a bounce. And I'm sure we will find it again, because we find everything. We have more plays than we can play. So yeah, that little trend line is there for the breakdown, while Let's see how far. I usually like to see how far I can go. That's a little too far. That might be it there. Stand to the right. And that has been a breakout area. I know it comes out of the trend line, but as you can see, it thought it was going to take off. This area here, it thought it was going to take off. Thought it was going to take off. Thought it was going to take off. So that's takeoff areas. And now we're there again. We thought we were going to take off here. Running out of time. We're dipping. Right? So we're dipping back, breaking down out of that pattern. And probably going to head to that $80 area, which is like only 12% more. So put that Disney on watch and see what it does from here. But I don't think that this is a support level, or else we would have, I mean, we used it here, right? It's the first time we touched it, we used it. So it's already been used, been softened up. Time to go to the next one. So that's Disney for you. Keep it on the radar. We still got about 10% more to go, but it's going down there. Disneyland. Create a poste. Yeah, so Disney will get pushed. Will get pushed and estimated next week maybe to hit that low. All right, 9 a.m. Let's check out the Tesla. Since it's our leader right now in terms of what's going to happen for the rest of the session, in terms of bearishness or bullishness. So okay, let's check out oil. We're also watching oil for our 8 a.m. So it's 9 a.m. So our 8 a.m. has been, like I said, it's down quite a bit. So I would not try to go long on it. I wanted that $90 level, and maybe I missed it, but I still wanted that level. And we're not out. We're not out of that $90 level until we close above this red bar high. We're still going to be in a pattern to try to go lower by the end of the session. So it's possible that this long or bullish pressure candle can get busted, and then that's how we end up back lower. Because it's playing around with the levels. It's not really breaking out or breaking down. Just keeps playing around. I hate that. But on the daily chart, it's got to go a little bit lower, then it come out. I like that. The pandemic low. That's what you would call that. The 2020 gap fill. Okay. All right. Let's move on. Most active. Let's check the indexes. So the indexes have climbed. Let's go check out the SPY. Indexes have climbed, but you know, EMA 5 is the king of the kings, and that's telling you like, yo, this might be your high of the day, buddy. Unless you get above me, this is your high of the day, my friend. But again, we already looked at these and said there's small chance of a breakout. Small chance, but it's there. Small chance, but it's there. Yeah. And then QQQ. Same. That one's actually defeated the EMA 5, so you can tell this one has more strength than the SPY. And Dow Jones being third place, that did not even reach the EMA 5 yet. The Dow. Okay, back to Tesla, because Tesla's gonna have to battle this. So see how everybody's stuck? Like everybody's stuck under something, and it's not really moving because they're stuck. Like, dang it. It's like the chart saying, dang it, I'm stuck. That's how charts work. Not news or not fundamentals or none of that shit. It works, but to run a business, not to trade a chart. Okay, let's check out some more symbols. Some more symbols. Let's see, we did the NASDAQ. Let's do the SPY. Actually, sorry, let's do what may be hitting the 50 simple moving average on the weekly chart. So let's do that. Chevron, simple moving average, hit of the 50. Had not been hit since last year, went straight into it. It's a really great buy level. Alright, so let's look at some stocks that are hitting their 50 moving average today and are looking like good buy levels. So you have the Chevron CVX hitting its 50-week moving average, and that is definitely a good buy level because it has not hit that since it became bullish. So it became bullish and climbed above it, and now it's had to try to survive that. It is very common for these to take that hit and go back up and meet this moving average as resistance and then fall back down. Very, very common. Like this would be one leg down, up, second leg down, right? So that's what Chevron is doing right now. Next one is Phillips 66. That one hit yesterday. Sorry, we're gonna breeze through them. That's Chevron. Direction, ERX. I don't know what that is. ConocoPhillips. EOG. So energy plays, right? NOV. Energy plays. All energy. I think Chevron looks like the best one. Got a couple more. Yeah, Chevron is the best one. Well, Duke Realty looks good, but I think we reviewed that already. Duke Realty has a super awesome bullish pattern here above the moving averages. Wants to go back and attack the highs actually, because with this bullish pattern you're gonna get past this red bar, and as soon as you close above this red bar, this red bar, you closed above it, right? So you kind of gave us that signal already that you're wanting to get back above these levels and remain above these levels. Will you be able to? This week will tell. Right, same here. Monthly hit the 20 SMA and wants to go back up. But Chevron was definitely the winner in this scan list, just the way it's piercing here. This is kind of telling us that it's gonna be a while. It's gonna be a while before Chevron gives us a nice breakout, but in the meantime there could be a short-term bounce to those levels we talked about. Chevron. With oil bouncing off of oil futures, bouncing off of their 50 moving average, right? We have CVX and oil can go lower, right? So it's between this level and next week's level, which is probably the $83 level. Just because that would be the 38.2 on the Fibonacci, or let's say it was the 85, 86 level, the last prior breakout. So there's definitely some area around there that can be a great support if it goes down there. But according to the chart, it does not get past the 50 moving average, since oil hit that low, back in 2020, and then it climbed above, and it has not even had problems staying above the 50. So we're back at it again, and CVX is one of those charts that is also hitting the 50. Also never had problems with the 50, since that oil low. So has a very similar pattern to oil, and is following the closest that I can see. So you got to keep an eye on that. In terms of it's probably gonna make the bounce with oil, but in terms of the Fibonacci retrace on this one, it hits the 38.2 exactly today. So there's a little bit of a difference there, and those are the different factors that you want to stack up. Extension, hit the 50, and hit the Fibonacci. So those are three things that stack up. The bounce may not be the major breakout to the upside, but we're just looking for a bounce back to this level to see what it does when it gets here. And then momentum, same thing. The momentum is definitely just a snap back to trying to see if we're going to really build super momentum, which I don't know until we get to that level. So on the daily charts, that was the weekly chart. So on the daily chart, so being that we find this play on the weekly chart, it may take weeks to get back to that 20 simple moving average. And on the daily chart, there's really not a lot right now, so it'll take days, which would be weeks, to really build that momentum. So you don't have to get in now, but the levels are hit today, so I like getting in when the levels are hit, just because that is my preference, right? So I would be buying it right there. I'm already in Phillips PSX, so I chose that one over the Chevron, just because of a gap fill that was on the daily charts. So that's the only reason I chose PSX versus the SMA. But they both were great today. They're both down to those lows, and oil's also making the right moves to let you know the sector is probably about to take a good bounce. All right, thanks. Okay. Sorry. Um, yeah, PSX doing well, giving that signal that I need, just like this one. I just need that. 79.83. What was that, like 5%? So mine could be 70. I think let's say I got 77 to 82.50. So that's close to a 9.83, close to 10%, which is okay for me. Okay. All right, let's try some other supports. Moderna. It's gonna try to hit that 20, or headed for that 20. For now, yeah. I mean, Moderna had a super low. Moderna. Headed for that 20. Oh, that's a sector. SOS, of course, that one's gotta chill out, bro. Confluent needs sellers, so that's gonna come with selling. You could tell that one is not gonna make it. Yeah, not gonna make it. Selling to continue. That reminds me to check on my losers. All right. Yes, I'm gonna check on my losers. Spirit Airlines. Near that 20. So see how Spirit's trying to ride that 20. Has to maintain that. But it's losing steam. CVS. Pretty much telling you wants to go lower. Wants to go lower and tag that 20. No, tag that 200 maybe. Yikes. Wants to go lower. DoorDash wants to go lower. Southwest. Southwest still fighting. Still fighting it out. Doesn't really have any sellers, so it can get back to 44. Home Depot trying to get bullish on this weekly chart. We just needed to give us another closing above the EMA 5. Has not been able to. All right, well, we hit the 9:30 time frame. Everything starts to slow down from here. So let's check some stocks out before we shut it down for the morning session. Tesla, we were talking about it possibly breaking up, but it didn't. So probably some bearish pressure for the rest of the session, according to what candle 1 has indicated. So same for the QQQ. It was not able to close above that EMA 5, even though it was able to pierce. Maybe it does it on this candle. So we're still looking to break out. At least that's what the indicator's telling us, but we'll see how that goes. It's only 4 minutes into the candle. And then the DJX, same. Oil has still remained above our cycle price, but again, it can end badly. All right, so keep an eye on the stocks we reviewed, and